Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Sean MMA. Today we're going to be doing something a little different than the past couple of videos out of my 5 videos. But for the presentation, UFC fighters that can fight versus UFC fighters that cannot fight. My fault. Obviously, this is like based on the trend of the rappers that can sing, rappers that cannot sing with NBA YoungBoy and Biba Debu, I believe. Something like that. No disrespect to her. She has some good songs. I don't know if I'm a little bit dyslexic. I'm not going to hold you. But that's too many letters for me to really name off the top of my head. Meanwhile, I could pronounce like all these UFC fighters' names perfectly. Not perfectly, but we'll see. I have a little cut on my lips, so if there's a little lisp, I apologize. Flyweight. Can't fight. Alexandre Pantoja. I mean, just look at this. Like, I know he's a champion, but, you were struggling against Royval low-key, grabbing for legs. Moreno split decision, even though I thought he lost. I just had a Peroni, bro. Imagine downing a whole Peroni and then doing a YouTube video, bro. Shit, man. But Pantoja, back to what I was saying. This man is desperate for air. I don't know. He has that like Dricus du Plessis cardio that like it looks like he's about to pass out, but still clutches up. But this bro can't fight. I don't care if he's champion, bro. Low-key lost to Usyk. I thought he lost to Usyk. I said, this is supposed to be a joke, low-key. I mean, I'm going to take some of this shit seriously because I got to stand on business, but I actually like Alexandre Pantoja, even though I low-key rooted against him for all his fights except for the Moreno fight. But, nah, he can't fight. Enough said. Can fight, Manel Cap. I mean, just look at his last performance, Tell me who can land a better knockout after a nut shot. Tell me who can do that. Who can literally clip farm, oral farm, do all that shit. Give this man a mic now. He's really trying to start shit with a lot of people. You know what I mean? And shout out Manel Cap for being who he is. Against Makayev, suddenly. He was doing a more of a, instead of an actual physical fight, he was actually battling him on a more psychological, like Sherlock Holmes type of way where he got him cut. So who really won the fight at the end of the day? He might have lost the war, might have lost the battle, but won the war. That's a true Sun Tzu warrior. On to bantamweight. Umar Nurmagomedov. I said I had dyslexia and I pronounced that name perfectly. Nurmagomedov. Umar, bro. Like, this man couldn't finish Corey Sandhagen, even though Corey Sandhagen couldn't land a single punch, got folded in half by Merab. Oh, my God. I love how we all became Merab fans, even though, like, I'm pretty sure half of us was hating on him, like, just a while back. I always liked Merab. He trained out of Long Island, and I'm not from Long Island, but I rock with Long Island, so we rocking with Long Island. That's all I gotta say. About to like give you all my life story right now. I'm originally from the city, type shit. You feel me, dog? But Long Island, I have a lot of love for them. They're low key better than us, but I'm just kidding. Let's be real. But it's a long sidetrack. But it was just mad funny seeing Khabib in the corner just, like, stressing the fuck out, having this Georgian man. I know it's, like, with Georgia and with Merab and Peter Young, it was personal. It was political. This man, I knew Merab was going to win once he brought politics up. He's like, I'm not going to let a Russian beat me. So he's just, if you're Russian and you're fighting Merab, it's cooked. Because, like, this man has a grudge. This man has a political grudge, man. All right, on to bantamweights that can fight. Song Yadong. Tell me, it's just like a punch, but it's a finger punch, bro. He channeled all his chi blinded Henry Cejudo with his power, his sheer will, kung fu. I love how his nickname was Kung Fu Monkey, but that just sounded racist. First off, this man doesn't even do kung fu, all right? This man does fucking boxing, all right? Why couldn't they just call him like the boxing monkey or some shit? Kung fu, that's gotta be fucking racist. I've never seen this man do kung fu, bro. Like, you know who does, like, Sean O'Malley might low-key do more kung fu than this guy, or like Umar or Corey Sandhagen is literally doing fucking kung fu, reading books, reading on Bruce Lee and shit, being like, you must be like water, and like, yeah, 50-45. But Song Yadong, and I guess the monkey, they changed it to Kung Fu Kid, because I guess you can't call people monkeys, especially if they're like a person of color. You can't call people monkeys. I kind of fuck with it though. Kung Fu Monkey, it's like, it's low-key kind of racist, but you're knocking people out, then it's like, shit, then it's a flex, you know? It's a flex. It's like Kill a Gorilla with like Jared Cannonier. Like, I always was uncomfortable with that name. Like, Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, like, why is he the Black Beast? Like, that sounds like some 1950s type shit, bro. But if they like it, then all the power to them, you know? Featherweight, Josh Emmett. Can't fight for shit. All right, you got 10-7 by Ilya Topuria. I'm trying to think of one like ranked win this guy has. It's like Bryce Mitchell, which I'm gonna get to him. Bryce Mitchell. You got a robbery against. You know, I say robbery. Everyone says robbery, but when I watched that fight live, I actually thought Josh Emmett won. Like, I knew it was close, but I thought Josh Emmett won. So I have to rewatch that fight. But Calvin Kattar really isn't that good either. Like, he got fucking record set by Max Holloway, and Max Holloway's good, but like, if he's setting a strike record on your face, like, you might need to rethink your whole stylistic approach to fighting, because like, striking is not for you, bro. Like, it was a strike record, come on. Josh Emmett got 10-7 by Ilya Topuria. Survived 25 minutes, but that just shows that you can take 25 minutes of ass whooping. Got choked out by fucking Yair Rodriguez, a striker. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, the Bryce Mitchell, like, KO is what's keeping your ranking, but you're low-key, like, sitting on a rank that you don't deserve. Most respectfully. And when he does get knockouts, it's just because he can't fight. I'm sorry. Like, if you got to knock out your opponent in the first round, that just means, like, you can't fight. That's all I got to say. Bryce Mitchell can fight, though. I had to put a picture of Red Skull because I'm not trying to get like my whole account banned, but you guys know what I was trying to put here. Bryce Mitchell, I mean, he got that twister submission against Ilya Topuria. Like, yo, he got Ilya Topuria swinging for the fences. You know, he had the flu. You know, and another timeline he would have won that fight. He beat Dan Ige and then made him recite the Bible. At the time, I thought Ige was just like, he lost and it was like an awkward situation. But later on, I found out Ige probably was actually really rocking with the Bible prayer shit. So shout out to Danny. I'm not religious, but shout out to Danny Ige. And Bryce Mitchell clearly can fight. He's fighting the world. He's fighting on the podcast. He's really fighting the limits of freedom of speech. You know, I rock with freedom of speech. You know, I really do. You know, I don't think you should censor. Okay. I mean, obviously, like, private corporations are allowed to, like, you know, I mean, it's complicated. I know, like, Twitter, now X, is, like, all about freedom of speech. But, you know, there's misinformation and stuff like that. And I know that's, like, a complicated topic. So, in general, I do err on the philosophy of freedom of speech, but I'm not about to say, like, oh, like, you say whatever you want and people have to like what you have to say. Like, that's not how freedom of speech works. Like, just because people don't want to, like, allow you to, like, the whole Rampage podcast thing, like, people are like, oh, like, they didn't let Bryce Mitchell say what he wanted to say. He didn't. And everyone, that was, like, a huge meltdown. Like, yo, you did hear what this guy said, right? Like, if it was something like, you know, I know MMA is a pretty right-leaning fan base. I'm sure some people aren't. I'm not telling you, like, what my political preferences are. I mean, I'm sure they will leak out eventually. I tend to touch on it quite a lot, but back to what I was saying with the Bryce Mitchell thing. It's like, you know, if they were saying some things about like gay stuff or, you know, gender stuff and all those things, like, you guys be like, why would you even let them say that stuff? Like, why would you even promote that stuff? And like, regardless of what your opinion is on that, like, that is like 30 times better than whatever Bryce Mitchell is saying. I'm sorry, like, I can't stand, like, you can't stand on business with that shit. Like, that shit is just dumb as hell. I feel like the past 3 videos I've talked about this, because it's like, people, maybe it's the stuff I watch, but people are like a little bit too excited about like a guy saying, I mean, it is, look, it's kind of funny. I'm not going to say it isn't funny. Like, it's a little funny, because like, we just saw him get well, he actually had a knockout win against Chrome Gracie, but we want to see him flatline. So I'm actually glad he wasn't cut. Like, I want to see him flatline, but like, to support him, like, you guys are just like, you guys need some help. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you guys just, like, I know, like, when you're young, especially, I know a lot of you guys on the internet, like, you guys are a little younger. You're trying to figure out like what the world is. You maybe have a little angst. You know, shit happens. Like, I'm not gonna tell you like, you know, like, yo, you're terrible human beings at like 16 years old. Like, you have a lot of time to learn, you know, a lot of time to like really explore the world. And if you're not from like certain places and you don't know certain people, it's easy to come up with like a lot of false narratives just based on what you see online. But it's shit is like kind of lame, bro. And like, you know, you're not getting no bitches from that shit, bro. And it's like, you can like, and also one more thing on this topic, like, y'all gotta stop hating on like these girls and shit. Like, y'all, they're fire, bro. Like, not all of them are trash, okay? Just like not all dudes, like, there's no group of people where everyone's shit, okay? Wow, just like dropping some real wisdom here. But shout out Bryce Mitchell for the knockout, I guess. I hope you get flatlined like Gene Silva. That should be funny as hell. Can't fight. Yeah, I think I just spent like 10 minutes. This video is going to be 30 minutes long and 20 minutes about the Bryce Mitchell. Look, I'm not trying to preach to y'all. I just got on a rant. Can't fight. Dan Hooker. Why? Because he literally can't fight. He just pulled out. Fucking hand's broken. But I feel like this guy gets injured a lot. He's going on back-to-back split decisions. And I thought he was going to beat Justin Gaethje. But after pulling out, I had to really rethink about it. Like this man, I thought he beat Gamrot. But, like, Gamrot was getting violated by Beneil Dariush. Like, let's not forget that. And then split decision that shit. Like, and then you got a split decision against Jalen Turner where you broke your hand again. And it's like Jalen Turner got violated by Moicano. Like, okay, you beat, like, 2, like, back-to-back, like, and Jalen Turner and Gamrot had a split decision. Like, that's not impressive wins, in my opinion. And if you, like, dominated those fights, it would be, but you split decision them. Like, you're at the same level as them, at the bare minimum. And it's just like, all right. And then Claudio Puelles, like, I can't even name, I'm sure he has wins. I can't even think of one off the top of my head right now. And then he got violated by Arnold Allen in the first round. And then before that, he got violated by Islam Makhachev. Like, this man's been violated by everybody in the division, you know? I still like to see him fight, but it's just like, he's like, kind of reminds me of Chandler in a way, where it's like, he's really good at losing exciting fights. Like, what do you want me to say? But Tony Ferguson, look at that photo of him violating Khabib in the timeline where he didn't cut weight twice in a week. Like, he low-key could have fought. He low-key could fight. You know, I'm excited to see him get his first win after 8 fights. You know what's crazy is that he won that first round against Michael Chandler. You know, he rocked Gaethje. He survived Charles Oliveira. what fucking else, man? Like the Nate Diaz fight, he was a favorite. I remember it was funny as hell, and it just looks like he didn't take that seriously. Paddy Pimblett fight. Now we look back on it, looking, Bobby Green got fucking choked out and broke his arm. He survived 3 rounds. He was just a little on the older side. And Paddy Pimblett, watch him beat Chandler in emphatic fashion and become like a fucking champion, beating Ilya Topuria. Like all of Tony Ferguson's losses are aging kind of well, and even like the Michael Chiesa fight, like I don't think he should be at 170 in the first place, and he just looked like a lot smaller. That's all I really gotta say. But the Bobby Green fight, like he was low key doing well until I believe it was an eye poke, or maybe I believe it was an eye poke in the first round. This is me coping. Whatever. Moving on. Can't fight Kamaru Usman. Where the fuck you at, bro? And I'm about to... this man was like about to beat Anderson Silva's winning streak. I mean... Even the first fight... second fight, technically, with Leon Edwards. Not technically, literally. Got taken down by Leon Edwards in the first round. I actually thought Leon Edwards was gonna win, even when he lost the next 3 rounds. Like I was in Jamaica at the time, and I was just like, the energy was there. I was like, yo, I think when else I had that same feeling? The Yuri Prohaska fight. I just knew he was gonna clutch up that 5th round. Like it was in my soul. I can't tell anybody. Like nobody's gonna believe me, but I knew Yuri was gonna win that fight, even in the 5th round. And the same thing with Leon Edwards. I just knew Leon Edwards was going to win that round in the 5th round. I just knew it. And also, I knew Leon Edwards was going to win the 2nd round because you took down Usman. Like, once you take down Usman, I just knew Leon Edwards was going to be able to clutch that 2nd one. And against Hamza, like, all right, like, fair enough, but you still lost that fight. I mean, fair enough, though. But what's his best wins? Jorge Masvidal? Like, okay. Colby Covington, which is looking real, like, Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns. Like, people are going to be like, oh, Gilbert Burns is so good. Like, is he though? Like, he got fucked up by Dan Hooker, who can't fight as well. Like, oh, that's one of the Dan Hooker's wins. He got fucked up by Dan Hooker. And then you got knocked out by JDM. You got outstruck by Sean Brady. All right, outstruck by shout out Sean Brady. I actually like him, but you got outstruck by Sean Brady. Like, what's a good Gilbert Burns win? Like, Jorge Masvidal. Like, it just people are like literally keeping their careers alive off Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal wins. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. And this guy, I know he can fight. I know he TKO'd Sean Brady. I knew he dumped Leon Edwards on his head. I know he'd be Shavkat. I know he's gonna be JDM. Like, oh my god, he's gonna be JDM. Him and Bryce Mitchell should really just like get some tea together or something like that, because I feel like they would get along for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like they'd get along. Oh my god, you broke Gilbert Burns' arm. All right, 50-45 Gilbert Burns. He can wrestle. He can box. He's boxed like Canelo. Like, and he's from Chicago, That's like King Von shit. That's Chief Keef shit. Like, he really from Chirac, Who can't fight? Nasruddin Imavov. Like, okay, you got Izzy on a 2-fight losing streak. Congrats, I guess. Like, you didn't get 1080, but in another universe, you might have been 1080 by Brendan Allen. All right. Got violated by Strickland, which he's ranked above Strickland now. I don't get it. So you beat Izzy, who lost to Dricus du Plessis, and you're ranked above Strickland, who beat Izzy, who just beat Alex Pereira, who also who beat you off like a week's notice. He beat you, and then you knock out Izzy, who got lost to Strickland and du Plessis back to back. I get it. Strickland lost his last fight, but that was against Dricus du Plessis, which he got a close fight with. You don't get ranked. You can get ranked above Izzy, but you don't get ranked above Strickland. And Hamzat, like, I guess he only has one ranked win, but he beat Usman and Whitaker back to back. Like, I think Khamzat should be ranked. Honestly, I think Khamzat should be ranked 1. And I know it's like kind of glazing Khamzat, but like I would have it obviously the champion Duplessis, and then Khamzat, then Strickland and Imavov, because beating Izzy off a 2-fight losing streak versus Whitaker on a 2-fight winning streak, like, I think it checks out. Who can fight? Yo, Strickland, man. Just speaking the devil, that's him in a photo. That's him, rockin' red. Like, that's Strickland right there. If you get it, everybody knows. But Sean Strickland. I mean, you got the jab, you got the teeth. Like, those are fighting strategies. Those are strikers delight strategies. Like, and he always goes to decisions because he knows he can fight for 25 minutes. Like, why knock out Izzy in the second round? Because you can't last 20 minutes in. Strickland can get that last round, that last 10 seconds. Like, that's all the proof I need. I don't care if you're TPing and jabbing at range the whole fight. Like, that means you can fight. Back to what I was saying. Am I really... You're the champion? Yeah. But you got split decision by Jan Blachowicz, all right? You got split decision by old man Jan Blachowicz. Then you fight 2 people coming off injuries. 2, and then a short notice against Yuri Prochazka, who like had an injury beforehand, and he probably already mentally checked out. Not like mentally checked out, but you knocked him once, you knocked him again, all right? Like, whatever. You got going to war, getting knocked down by Khalil Roundtree, who's in a cult. Yeah, you got that or farm, quit farm finish, but shit, you got knocked out by Israel Adesanya. Like, I don't, like, he did you bad, worse than like you did the first time. So, and also, why are you knocking out people in the first, second round? You can't fight. You can't fight. Just say that. Just say you have to land that fucking OD left hook. Like, just say you can't fight 25 rounds with somebody. Someone's gonna be like, yo, blah blah blah. Like, he Israel Adesanya, whatever. You know what I mean? Tell me why Bruno Silva took you to a decision. Tell me that. Can't. Back-to-back SpongeBob. Yo, why does this actually kind of look like Anthony Smith? Like, you can totally see Anthony Smith looking like this. It's like Doodle Bob. Anthony Smith. All right, Sean Strickland. I know this is completely like destroying my point from earlier, but Sean Strickland gets a broken nose. I mean, he still kind of stayed in there, but shit. Like, Johnny Walker, light heavyweight. Like, guy's nose broken. Just done. He's done. He just grabs his face. Anthony Smith gets his teeth knocked out. Still in it. Johnny Walker was scared to approach Anthony Smith. That's why he was like leg kicking at range. Anthony Smith is literally conjuring feelings of fighting for his family. Tell me who's a bigger fighter than someone who's literally thinking in a schizo frenzy that his family's getting attacked. All right? And he's fighting like TJ Dillashaw online. Like, he's fighting for his career. Who takes Magomed Ankalaev on short notice? Like, Anthony Smith. Like, who fraud checks Victor Petrino with the gilly of the century? I was so happy for him. He smiled like, yo, tell me that Anthony Smith doesn't have a chance to like clutch a win against Alex Pereira. Tell me he can't. He's going to Zhang Ming Yang. He's going to find a way to fraud check that guy, and he's going to go on another 3-fight losing skid. But Anthony Smith can't fight. They call him Lionheart for a reason, man. John Jones, like, illegally needs him. He said, fuck it. I'll still fight. Fuck it. And he's not on steroids. And he's biracial, but he doesn't look like it. Like, tell me why. And up to the last but not least, the heavyweight division. I forgot how to put these pictures in. I know Shamil Gaziev has like this glazed fan base of like fanboys that love to meme on him, but he literally tapped out due to exhaustion against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who literally got cut off like yeah, like you okay. Sergey Pavlovich had a Marab-esque performance, and you guys cut Jairzinho Rozenstruik for what? Like he was doing well, and then he loses one fight against Sergey Pavlovich, who nobody expected Sergey Pavlovich to start diving for the legs. Like, that's just messed up. And I love how nobody gave a shit. Like, that's so fucked up. Like, they're like, oh, we got Derek Lewis. Like, we don't need another one. But Shamil Gaziev, fat as fuck. I don't think he should be ranked. Like, why is this man ranked? I'm sorry. Like, who has he beat that's ranked? Like, he's not winning any fights in the ranked. Like, I don't see it. Like, he got a first round knockout last time, but he didn't even look. You know, like heavyweights, like when they knock out somebody, you're like, okay, like it landed on tails that time. Well, am I supposed to be impressed? Oh, but Tai Tuivasa, I still have hope. This man was one fight away from fighting Jon Jones, rocking Ciryl Gane. Like, there's a timeline where Tai Tuivasa chinned Jon Jones and is the heavyweight champion right now. All right? All his fights, he's just banging it out. He wants to do shoeies. He's at Domino's, Taco Bell. All the workers are fighting for their lives. They can't win. Tai Tuivasa is knocking them out, putting them in through overtime. Underpaid, undertipped. Tai Tuivasa, like, all right, Volkov, was it a fucking Ezekiel choke? All right, like, Volkov pulled that shit. And at the time, we were like, oh, shit. But look at Volkov now. Like, beat Ciryl Gane. Let's be real here. Tai Tuivasa's not losing any, like, fights that you're like, oh. You know, they're submitting him maybe, like, but who's knocking him out besides Sergey Pavlovich? Who, let's be, like, Sergey Pavlovich, I mean, he's still good, you know? Like, he's just losing to guys that are, like, leagues, like, fucking awesome. Like, Tom Aspinall. Like, Volkov. Like, these guys are fucking great, you know? So, that's the end. Thank you for watching Shine MMA. Damn. But, I'm happy you guys stick along. Shit, that don't even make any sense. And last remarks, be kind people, you know, hustle, follow your dreams. You know, I know the world can be a scary place, but remember, like, I love MMA because I feel like it's one of the most diverse sports where people of all shapes and, like, name another sport where you're hyped for a women's matchup. Like, we watch women compete in the same sport as men. Like, who, like, NBA fans don't watch WNBA. Like, baseball fans don't watch, I don't know, like, softball. Like, MMA, I believe, has real diversity as its strength in gender and race and all that fun liberal keywords, you know, for all you liberals watching this shit too. But, you know, it also upholds, like, you know, all those, you know, the good traditional values. You know, it emphasizes, like, strength, you know, teamwork, you know, standing up for yourself, following your dreams. And I think those are the important parts, you know, to focus on, rather than, like, a lot of the hate. And obviously you can root for the people that, like, that represent your background or beliefs or whatever, but also, like, name another sport where you're rooting for the Brazilian guy over the American guy as an American, you know? Like, that, I believe, is why, like, we love this sport, and I think what we should focus on. And, like, yo, Bryce Mitchell, you gotta fight, like, what's his name, Nathan Levy? Like, just do that fight after you lose to Gene Silva, like, you know? And I hope you lose that fight too. All right, I'm out.